Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Today we are going to be tying up tomatoes, pinching tomatoes, pruning plants, all kinds of plants, squash plants, Baptisia. And I also wanted to let you guys know it's now July. Now's the time to start really be looking for those clearance garden items. We look for clearance plants all season long. I'm not talking about clearance plants. I'm talking about your soils, your pots, like your hardware stuff, you know, so fertilizers, all that kind of stuff. Start continuously checking your stores when you go to them. You don't have to do anything special, just whenever you are at the store, check those clearance aisles, check for the sales, because this is when they really start happening, especially in my area. So I'm on the lookout mainly for soil, but I could use some new, you know, garden pruners and shears. What else could I use? So many things. So I am just on the lookout for those things, and if I find stuff, I will definitely let you guys know. That way you can look in your own areas. Or even what I do is, like, I go outside my area. Like, I don't only just shop right where I live. Like, I will travel to the different Walmarts around Ohio that are at least within an hour or less, and I will shop those stores to get the things that I need. Because a lot of times some of those more rural areas or just areas out of the major city will have stuff on clearance, and that's how I got all of that garden soil last year for $1, like $1 a bag. That Pro Mix soil, I went through that soil like all winter. I was using that soil to repot plants, to refill garden beds, to start seeds, and I used it all up by the spring. So it is definitely worth it to be on the lookout for those clearance prices. Like, it's worth it. That's the way we get to stay in the garden and do what we love. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the tomatoes. We've had some heavy winds and rain, and some of them are bent. And let me show you, get closer. So see how that's bent? Those are still okay. As long as we get them propped up, they'll still grow, and those tomatoes will still ripen and be delicious. So before things get even worse out here, let's go ahead and get this trellis under control. Here are my tools. I have some kid scissors because I can't find the big people scissors. Anyway, and then I have some jute cord that I'm going to use to tie it onto the trellis. Usually I would use my clips, but the clips are too small for these bars and here, so the jute is going to work fine to tie up the tomatoes. So I'm seeing what looks like hornworm damage, possibly, where whole tops are missing, leaves are missing. So I'm gonna go on a scavenger hunt and look and see where this guy might be. There's a lot here. There's a lot of space for where it can hide. And plus I'm kind of scared of the horn part of it. But let's take a look around and see if we can find it. So something else that I'm also gonna do to the tomatoes that reach the very top of the trellis is I'm going to do what's called topping your tomatoes. And when you cut them off at the top, that means that they won't grow any taller. You will, however, have more of your suckers branching out at that point, and you can decide to cut those suckers off or allow them to keep going. But I want this to stay on this trellis. I don't want it hanging over and just going wild. You will still have a harvest of tomatoes. It's important to have your tomatoes where they have great airflow, they're getting good light, and if you've got them growing like a jungle, it'll be hard to for that to happen. And when you've got moisture, then you've got tomato diseases. So coming to prune your tomatoes is so important. Maintaining them, maintaining airflow, and checking for diseases as you're out here doing things. Now, I did not find that hornworm. I'm sure there is one out here. I've found one on pretty much, not on all the tomatoes that I have, but I've found probably about 4 hornworms so far on different tomato plants that I have out here in the garden. So I'm not surprised if there is one here somewhere. I will find him eventually and take him off of there. Just about every week I have been pinching my potatoes back, and they just like flush out new growth like crazy as soon as I do that. So it seems like it's not hurting them, so I'm just gonna keep doing it just to maintain you know, airflow to the bed and light to my onions over here. I'm also gonna go through and pinch out dead leaves on my squash, and then any leaves that are shading out any other plants on this side. This is also a great time to check for squash vine borers. If you haven't met squash vine borers yet, they basically eat the stem out of your plant, and that kills your plant. So just be on the lookout. You'll know when you see them. It's like the stem has been eaten alive. It's like it splits open and starts turning yellow. And I kind of see something over there, but let me pull back some of the leaves, pinch them back so we can take a really good look in there. So I didn't see any severe damage of any sort. The vine, or the stem that I'm thinking about is this one here. That one looks like there might be something going on. I'm not sure. Definitely gonna dig in a little bit more and check on that. But right now I'm gonna keep pinching, pruning, and I've got this vine here, this squash vine that is going on the trellis, and it looks amazing. But I've got to train some of these rogue pieces to go back on. This one is heading over to the tomatoes, so we definitely want to get that back on the trellis. I think I might be a little bit short to get up there, so we'll see. The last thing that I'm going to pinch back today, or prune, is this Baptisia. This Baptisia is so beautiful. I'll put the name on the screen. I think it's by Proven Winners for sure. I bought it on clearance about 2 or 3 years ago, and it has done phenomenal. It's huge, it blooms beautifully, but I want to cut back some of these lower branches to allow more light flow in here. And then because my coluses here are getting tall, and I want them to be able to get as big as they want to get and not be shaded out by the Baptisia. So just taking out those few lower branches definitely open this up and look how much more light is getting to the plants. And the Baptisia still looks okay. It doesn't look mangled like I thought it probably would. But yeah, look at that. More light, more growth, healthier plants. If your hostas are done flowering, go ahead and start cutting off those spent blooms. Your plant will look so much better. If you want to leave those spent bloom seed heads up, go ahead. These will turn dark brown, and then once they are dark and kind of crispy, kind of like this, then it's time to go ahead and harvest those seeds. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.